What's going on, kinfolk? Welcome back to the Key to the City podcast. This is episode 34. We're tugging along. I appreciate everybody that's been watching, tuning in, commenting, liking, sharing, whatever you've been doing to support the podcast. We sure enough appreciate you. And just like with last week, we're going to continue to give you quality content and quality guests. Before we get into our guests, guess who we have back? We have the firecracker herself, Isha. She was with Child, but now she's back and she's giving us a nephew, so he's joined the kinfolk family. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be back. We have a lot in store for y'all going into 2020, like Yoni said, and I cannot wait to get back and get everything on track.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you back. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited with the guest that we have tonight. I'm nervous. It's a good nervousness though, but I'm shaking like a $2 stripper. But it's all good.
It's getting hot, ladies.
This gentleman really needs no introduction, but it's only proper. He's Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, author, repping Monroe, North Carolina. That's right. He's the pen behind some of your favorite hits, which y'all may not even be aware of, like "There Goes My Baby," something like that along the line. By Charlie Wilson. He is the pen behind that. Him and the brother Babyface Evans. He was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame in 2018. He has released a total of 8 projects, with his most recent project being Gold Dust, which was released in 2019. That thing is jamming. I know y'all done streamed that every which way. And ladies, he's really the reason that some of your men return home, because we have realized that you like our legs and we can't walk without you. And, you know, fellas, he's also the reason we done stepped off, because, you know, when the sun going down, we falling out of love. You know, you push us too close, we might
back, though.
all over the edge.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna come back.
So you say. And I really want to talk to him. We ain't coming back. What I really want to talk to him about is his published autobiography that he released in 2019 titled "Do You Without Them." He dropped a lot of gems on us, and he was definitely speaking to me. I needed it. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kinfolks, please welcome to the city the Soul Prince, Calvin Richardson. What's going on, brother?
Yes. How y'all doing?
Hey, we are blessed, man, and obviously highly favored to have your presence on the show, brother. How your day been going so far?
So far, so good. You know, I've been kind of hanging out. I'm getting ready to get back out on the road tomorrow. I have a show, a New Year's Eve show tomorrow night in Huntsville, Texas. So preparing myself.
Okay.
Yes,
sir. How far? I wonder how far that is from Houston. That's where I am right now.
Broadcasting. Yeah, that's only, they say it's only like an hour and 10 minutes.
Hey man, don't be surprised if I pop up down there in my Key to the City apparel.
Can I
it's all good.
I need
Come on.
Sure.
No, you too far away. Brother, how have you been dealing with the pandemic, and how has it impacted you personally and professionally thus far?
You know, I mean, initially, you know, I dealt with it like I would say 90% of America did, man. Like it kind of shocked my system, and you know, with the shutdown, and you know, I was able to be home with my family, and that was a good thing. You know, that was a good thing. And you know, professionally, you know, the biggest part for me was the disconnect between myself and my adoring fans that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that went on for about 4 months straight before I was able to figure out a way to reconnect with the fans. I created a platform called Soul Show on Demand. Like a lot of people had started doing their virtual shows from their living room, and bedroom, and stuff like that. So I created a platform, and I you know, went to this venue out in Jackson, Mississippi, and you know, all of the settings was proper for me to do a show like I would do, you know, if I was at, you know, in you know, I was doing a live show or whatever. It wasn't going to be from my bedroom or from my home. That just wasn't realistic. So you know, I got the band and I got, you know, all the background singers, and I had Sir Charles and Omar. I had, you know, and Big Rob, put them on the show. And I had MC Lightfoot. He opened up the show. He hosted the show, comedian out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you know, we performed, we did our show, man, put it on like that. But I was still missing the people. That was the number one key missing element, because I feed off of the energy of the people, the relationship that I have with my supporters. They need to be right there in front of me. I need to be right there in front of them. But they'll take me like this, you know, going to their computer and being able to watch it. But it for me, it just wasn't the same. So in August, I got back out there and started doing live shows again. And that's where the magic is, you know?
Most definitely. And brother, I'm glad you mentioned Jackson, Mississippi. That's where this show is based, man. That's where we born, and that's where we
City.
the podcast. They love you out here.
They do.
And,
I agreed to do it, you know?
And definitely during when you did the Golden Giving Community Initiative.
Oh yeah.
We were a part of that as well, where you gave away the meals.
Oh yeah.
Is Jackson like one of your primary supportive bases?
They are. That's a strong supportive base for me, man. You know, Jackson been there for me. I go back to say since day one, since I came and, you know, started working the, you know, that scene out there, man. And they've always been there. You know what I'm saying? This became one of my favorite cities, you know, to come and perform.
They definitely love you, man. Jacktown gonna always show you love.
We really do. We really do. This is your second home. We gonna give you a key to the city.
Absolutely.
He deserves it. And
key to the city.
With us being based in Jackson, I know a lot of our fans are familiar with you. They definitely love your music. A few of them may not be exactly familiar with your entire background, but of course you come from a musically inclined family. Grew up singing gospel. Were part of a singing group with Casey and JoJo. And you know what I found ironic about your story compared to other singers that come out of the church is that your parents didn't really go against the grain as far as you, or have any complaints as far as you doing any type of R&B music or secular music at the time. How important was that to have that support from your mom?
I mean, it was huge, you know. But I must admit, like, I know that she would have preferred that I stuck with the gospel. You know, that just, you know, that wasn't my way. For, you know what I mean? I felt like there was enough people over there delivering the gospel message. Like I needed to take that soulfulness and bring it over to the secular world, you know, and let the people feel it over here. You know what I mean? And the lyrical contents and the delivery, and take some love over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know, people, you know, a lot of people with broken hearts that need to be mended, man. They, you know, that needed to hear the message that I was putting in the music. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, it wasn't a quick burn for me. You know what I mean? Like, people had to gravitate to the message, to me. You know what I mean? But once it started setting in, man, it was on from there.
So would you say, as far as like when you're like you said, you come from a strong Christian background, would you say that is when you're venturing into that type of different secular, as far as what you grew up in, would it made a difference if she did or did not support you, like as far as motivational wise?
I mean, she would it. It was better that she did support me, but I think regardless, had she supported me or not, I was going to do what my heart was just into doing it like I'm doing it, you know.
Right.
I would have did it regardless, you know what I mean. And with I might have, you know, had to work even harder just to prove that, you know, I was worthy of, you know, this was the direction that I was supposed to be in, you know.
Right. And brother, you're a fairly young guy, but yet you have over 20 years in the game. And I'm definitely impressed that you were able to maintain such a long career and maintain longevity, which most artists are not blessed enough to do. Did you have a plan ahead of time to where you were able to go full time at 21, or did you just jump out there?
I just jumped back, man. Once I left and got into it, there was no looking back. You know, I would do it until I got to it, all the way to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, when I first got into the business, like as far as I was in a group called Undercover.
Yep.
And so everybody that, you know, that didn't work out. That situation didn't work out. We had a single that came out on New Jersey Drive soundtrack in '95 with Biggie Smalls and all, you know.
Of course, yeah. Remember that, John?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But everybody else that was in the group after the group situation dismantled, they all, you know, they didn't pursue the career. Like for me, going back home, that wasn't even an option for me. You know, we went to New York, and New York is where it had to be. That's where I had to be. I was not going back home. So, you know, unless
How you survive, bro?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like,
well, I was the writer of the song, that was on New Jersey Drive, called "Love Slave," and like I said, I just mentioned a couple of names that was on that soundtrack, right? Outkast sold a lot of records, so I got a lot of coins that came to my pocket, and I was the writer and all that. So I was able to maintain, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, bro.
So you just went straight in for no plan B. This is how it's going.
Good point.
I'm working on this. I'm not turning back. Did you do that because you had a point to prove, or did you do that just because you don't believe in plan Bs? If this is my motivation and this is my straightaway, this is what I'm going to do.
That's a great question. I don't believe in plan Bs. I got to tell you that. I don't believe in that. And, you know, once you set your mind to doing something, like the only thing between you and getting to where you want to be, you know, the determining factor is you and your drive and your determination. And because I believe that you could do anything that you want to do. And this is what I set out to do because I wanted to do it. And so, hey, at the end of the day, I got out of it what I wanted, you know, and there was just no plan B. Like I said, there was no looking back.
That was one of the things that stood out to me in the book. I was definitely going to bring that up. Great question, Isha, because I struggled with that a lot. And as I was coming up, it's kind of been on my mind lately with me starting this podcast in the past year, but I just remain consistent with it. So I'm glad you dropped that gem in the book, man. It was definitely powerful. I don't want to stray to the book just yet. I do want to talk about Gold Dust, which is a fantastic project, brother. You said you were under a lot of pressure to put this particular project out. This is the project you had to get done in 6 weeks?
This is the project, yeah. Gold Dust is it.
Where did you get your inspiration from?
Nothing was recorded, Isha.
Nothing
was recorded. You got to turn this in 6 weeks. What kind of work ethic do you have, man?
Oh man, I'm a workaholic. I'm working right now on something else as we doing this right here. I got something else going on. You know what I mean? It never stops. Like, you know, I very rarely, you know, I don't sleep as much as most people do because, you know, my wheels is always turning. And because there's always something else that, you know, we can be doing to add to what we're trying to do to get to where we're trying to go. So my work ethic is crazy.
And guess what, Isha? The man lost his voice as well. So
you lost your voice.
That was the pressure of trying to turn that record around in 6 weeks.
Like when I tell you that project is wonderful. Like when it first dropped, I was like, "Ooh, Calvin Richardson, ooh." Now I'm a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit younger than, you know, everybody, but you know, like I've loved you since Falling Out has came out. Wow. I was like 12 when they came out, and I was like,
oh my God.
Falling Out love who? You put your kids.
Everybody love that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's amazing. Like that's amazing as far as like you said. So is this your most pressured? Like you said it's your most pressured album, but how was it trying to get that out in 6 weeks? Like coming up with the music. I know you like to write a lot of stuff on your own. So how was it as far as getting those creative juices flowing to say 6 weeks, this many songs, here it is, and still give your fans the expectation of Calvin Richardson?
Right. Well, you know, It was, like I said, it was pressure. It definitely was pressure. And then coming behind the album that was before that, All or Nothing, that had Can't Let Go, one of my biggest records on. And and I was, the label came back to me to do this deal right away because they wanted to follow that up, keep that, follow that momentum. Do I have enough Can't Let Go in me? They wanted to see that, you know what I mean? They wanted to Can't Let Go is his own thing, you know what I mean? And so it was tremendous pressure, but I didn't succumb to the pressure. Like, my whole life it's been pressure. It was the pressure for me to get in the music business. It was pressure for me to stay in the music business after, the first deal fell apart when I was in it with the group. And so, like writing and singing, that's something that comes natural. I don't have to think too much about that. But, I did think, I did give this a little more thought because I didn't want to shortchange people because I had a short window. I had to try to get it done in. And so, I just wanted to make sure I was giving the fans melodically. I was giving them everything that they needed in every song. Lyrically, I wanted to make sure that I didn't try to, stretch ad lib about to cover up where they should be words. You know what I mean? Short message. And musically, I held all the producers to a higher standard. Like, yo, just give me your shot. Give me the best music you got. Don't give me nothing that you had laying around. Let's come up from scratch. Let's go. Give it to me.
Right.
And everybody was pretty much had their head in the same place. They wanted to see me come back, and they wanted to be a part of the project. And everybody put their best foot forward. And I'm very proud of what Gold Dust turned out to be.
Y'all definitely did that, man.
Of you as well.
Solid project, bro.
Yeah.
Calvin, you 100%. You independent now, right? 100%.
100%.
Gotta love it.
Good. You're independent.
When you started, I know when you initially started, you were handling a lot of your business on your own.
Right.
How difficult is it? Does it take away from the creative process for artists when they have to be in charge of their business as well as try to remain creative and deliver a solid project?
Yeah, I think it does. I think you have to find the balance because it takes away from your longevity. It takes away from how much you add to the business if you don't know the business, if you're not a part of your business, if you just relinquish that to someone and, depend on them to have your best interests or work harder for you than you work harder for yourself, you already lost the game,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So as far as just like you said, as far as like touching back on what Yoni said, with the business aspect, I know with the music industry, you get in contact with a lot of people, and along those ways, you've been in the music industry for a long time. I'm sure it's a lot of people that you consider, family. So as far as for your business aspect, how do you separate boss friend Calvin from just, okay, now we got to get on it as far as boss Calvin? Like, how do you separate those two as far as just to keep your business streamlined?
Right. That's the hard part for me. That's all because I'm a very personable type person. You know what I mean? If I pull you in and we, even if you work for me, regardless, you know what I mean? Like we become friends. That relationship kind of sometimes, it kind of blur the lines of the business. But I try to get people on the team that share my vision and understand that I'm dedicated. I'm very serious. That work, work. They're hard workers, and they know that I gotta go where I gotta go. And if I hire you, you got to do what I hired you to do. Otherwise, I could be friend Calvin and boss Calvin, but boss Calvin will call you and be like, "Hey, I gotta let you go. You my friend, but I gotta let you go because we ain't moving at the same pace." And if you I don't feel like you can run just as fast as me or, do just as much as me when I take my hand out the plot, then I got to let you go. And so I never try to cover that part up with my friends, the friend Calvin, when I even we become as close as somebody come as close as as my brother. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is business, and the business is either you know what I'm saying? You either producing, or I gotta let you go.
You hear that, Isha? Either you produce, or I got to let you go.
Hold on, Paul. we have to tell you a funny story. We're not trying to get out. He actually fired me, Calvin, before. He fired the whole crew.
That's why I was initially going to ask you what's your approach to doing that, but because you mentioned it in the book when you replaced like your band, it couldn't give you the sign that you wanted, and you said it would. You just went in there that day and dropped it on them. That's how I handled it.
And I was friends with all of them. You know what I mean? I hated to do it on the way there, but when I got there, it was time to do it. It's time to do it. You know what I mean? This is what it is. So I see y'all. Hey, y'all still back together. It's all good. But sometimes
he loved me. That's what.
There you go. Key to the City podcast. We got my guy Calvin Richardson in the city. Before we let you go, brother, I just got a few more questions for you. Just some things I pulled from the book. I don't recall you mentioning it, but what was your COVID career before you gave it up and got into music full time?
I was working in it was called technographics, man. You know what I mean? I was they did designs, computer designs for fabric that may be, I don't know, on your curtains, that have wood grain on your curtains or wood grains that might be on your floor, on your table. They did different designs like that. And you know what I'm saying? Okay. I was a designer, you know what I'm saying? The big cylinders that created the print and all that stuff. You know, I was back there in that department. And
my man said he had to get up out of that.
I swear.
And it was a great job. It paid me great money. Obviously, they don't pay me like I get paid now. But what I'm saying is, you know, it was a great 9 to 5. You know what I mean? There was a lot of people that, you know, it was a very sought after, you know, saying position, a job, so to speak, just to be able to say you work there. But you know that wasn't necessarily for me. You know,
do you take what you've learned there and apply it to? Since you say like as far as a lot of graphic designing, do you do your own graphic designer?
You got a team for that,
right? He might want to dabble in it.
He's right.
It wasn't that type of graphic. You know what I mean? It wasn't the graphic flyers and stuff like that. It wasn't that. You know what I mean? Okay. Like I said, it was like, you know, print for, you know what I'm saying, wood grains or marble, you know, to make different things look like marble, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? But it, you know, stuff, you know.
Is it possible to choose a favorite Calvin Richardson project?
I think my favorite project, man, I think when I first went independent was When Love Comes. I mean, I went crazy, really, you know, because I had total freedom to do what it was that I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily have to answer to nobody, although, you know, I signed to with Shaniki Entertainment, but I didn't have no boss. You know what I'm saying? It was like a partnership. You know what I mean? I didn't have to answer to nobody. Like, yeah, they wanted to hear the music, but hey, they heard it when I got ready for them to hear it. Yeah. I took the songs in the directions that I wanted to hear them. I worked with who I wanted to work with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I chose the single that I wanted to go with. So I think, you know, that was me. That was my coming out party. Like once I went independent, man, I haven't looked back. When I was signed to the majors and stuff like that, man, like, you're basically controlled, and they control how much you can do. You know, they when you can get back in the studio to work on another project, you know, all of that stuff, they control your whole musical career. And it's up to them whether you succeed or not. It's up to them whether your single become a hit or not. It's up to them. Right. You know, if they just put something out there just to fill this quarter for, you know, for their books or whatever, and they were like, let's put a Calvin song out there, but we ain't gonna put no money on it because that requires, you know what I mean? But it's required in order for people to know about it. And so, you know, I learned a lot though. Like I said, the business.
So with the freedom that you have, where do you like, as far as just writing your songs, like are they personal experiences that you went through? Are these things like, where do you get, like you said, writing is easy if it comes to you, but do you associate them with personal experience, things that you heard from your friends, like, or it's just women all together, like it's just women that you dealt with, just like?
I think the majority of the stuff is just like personal experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like personal experience, you don't necessarily. I don't write that. I live that, and then I just go back and tell the story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I say the writing part is easy because I mean I'm just really reflecting on something that I've done or something that either I've done firsthand or secondhand. I was around somebody that did it. You know what I mean? And I seen the effect of it. I seen how it affected other people, and I felt like these are the things that could help other people that's gonna go through the same thing or maybe going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all want a good read, go get that thing, man.
Do you without them?
That's
Full
right.
of a lot of gems.
Yeah.
Do you without them? Oh, that right.
Women gonna take it and run with it though. We gonna think we don't need no man.
There's a situation in the book I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell the people what caused it because they need to read the book themselves.
Right.
But my guy got shot, man. Mr. Richardson got shot. What was that experience like, man?
I was from the streets, man. So that was always, something that was always just right around the corner. It could just happen at any moment. You know what I mean? Because I put myself in those environments and stuff like that, and the type of lifestyle that I slid off into, like just got off on dealing with the wrong type of people and stuff like that. Right. Man. But it wasn't fun. You know what I mean? It was one of those things right. that it made me realize, like, okay, now it's either I get out of the streets and pursue my dream, or I'm probably gonna be found in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna lose my life out here in the streets, or end up taking somebody else's life, and then my life is over anyhow. If I take somebody else's life, I just took my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so,
word to the wise, man.
Yeah, man. And because there's a lot of people out here that's on that path, man. A lot of young, young cats out here, and just living their life with no breaks, man. And living your life with no breaks, man. There's always a wall that if you hit it and you ain't you can't slow down before you hit that wall. It's it could end. That could be the end of you.
That's right. Well, brother, we're so grateful to have you, man. We know you're a busy man. I swear I got two last things before you go. Two last questions. We mentioned we based in Jackson, Mississippi, and we had one of our queens on earlier this season. Right. Stephanie Luckett. She speaks very highly of you. What type of bond do y'all have? What do you think about her as an artist? Things of that nature.
Oh, that's my baby right there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I raised her. You know what I mean? She used to ask me all kind of questions all the time. I used to give her advice all of the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. She hit me. I'd be getting ready to go on the show if they wasn't with me because, she was my background singer for a long time. Mm-hmm. And so, she could ask me anything and I'd be like, I'm about to go on stage. But I said, what's up? Well, she taught me about anything. We have a great relationship to this day. She just did her live project or whatever. She just did or whatever she wanted. I was supposed to be in, made her a video. Steph, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get that done.
Oh, okay.
Going on. That's the one time that I think I failed her, but I love her, man. I think she's a great artist, and like I said, she knows a lot more about the business side of things than a lot of her counterparts. And this is the thing that will sustain her in years to come. So I know Stephanie will be around because, like I said, it's like she was like my understudy. She would get in my head and she would ask me all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She was getting ready to go out and do a show. Right before she get on the stage, she would call me. And I'd be like, just drop some jewels on her, man. And she'd go out there and kill it.
Shout out to Miss Luckett. And Calvin, what can we expect from you for 2021, man?
Man, more music. Yeah, I got, I'm 3 singles deep in the Gold Dust, man. The pandemic sidelined a lot of people, but it didn't sideline me from releasing singles off it. I kept releasing music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. People wasn't able to get up in the radio stations and, play music and stuff. So they was, you know what I mean? So it was basically being programmed from home or whatever, man. But, and so like a lot of people stopped releasing singles, but not me. I'm like, hey, this is the perfect time. Like, people still need that music. They still need healing in their life. They still need love in their life. They still need positivity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Still need me. And so, and I needed them. I needed, you know what I'm saying? I had to throw, drop them little nuggets like Hansel and Gretel so they can find their way back to me so they'll never forget about the Prince of Soul. You know what I mean? Because I never forget about them. So I'm gonna drop another single off that album, man. I got another single. I'm gonna do one more single off this album, and so I have 4 singles off this album, and then I'm gearing up to drop another album. I'm trying to get to 10, and that 10th album, man. I think once I get there, man, I'm probably gonna lean back and just
don't talk about no retiring, man.
I'm never gonna retire. I'm never gonna retire. I'm gonna start going back and doing my catalog. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, we can put up with that, man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, go out there and support this black brother, man. You know who he is.
We need you back to come back to the city. Don't come on back to Jackson.
Hopefully when you come back, man,
I'll be back.
We'll be able to meet you in person, brother.
Yes, I can't wait.
I look
forward. We have
a
lot of events that we go to, so yes, we cannot wait.
But go out there, purchase that. Do you without them. Stream Gold Dust. Buy the whole album. Stream all his projects.
That's right.
Man,
you don't need nobody to do you.
That's it.
Nobody.
Not at all. And man, I'm glad you hit the book off right when you said we waste so much time and energy and waste our gift so much by worrying about what others think about us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boy, I almost ran through the door when I read this.
Exactly. I wish a lot more people, man, like seriously, like that book, when that book came out, man, it was number one, bestseller on Amazon, all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? That was all good. But I think I just wish that more people, I know a lot of people got it, but I think everybody need that book that's trying to be an entrepreneur, that's trying to find their way in life, that's trying to, tap into success and understand what it is. You know what I mean? Like success is not determined by other people. You determine what your success should be. You know what I mean?
Facts. And we're going to end it on that.
For sure.
End it on that, Jude. Key to the City podcast. It's your kinfolk Yona. She is the firecracker diva Isha. He is the young black king, the Prince of Soul, Calvin Richardson. It's been an honor, brother. And keep inspiring us. Keep allowing us to make babies and populate the world. And just continue to be you, man, and continue to be independent, man, and continue to motivate people like me. Woo, I'm fired up, baby. Calvin Richardson.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
Go back here and write a whole game plan.
There you
love
go,
you, brother.
You get it done. All right, y'all. Peace. Thanks for having me.
Peace out. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.